screen record again to have this video on YouTube. Let's create chairs for the kitchen table. So basically the simplest thing for that is to make those maybe from the box again. So I will just use this box for now, and I will explain my thoughts on that. I will just create this one part of that chair as a first part, and after that we will prepare everything else. So basically the parts for the chairs could be measured as three parts, like this one part, the second one is the copy of this one, and the third part is this the soft one where you can just sit. So yeah, I will start from this left part of the chair, and I will make it from the box. So basically I already remember that it looks like I don't know, it have two legs and one part of the spine actually connected with the second leg. Okay, let's just think what we can do with that box. So basically the box itself is more like clay for me. I can just work with that to, let's just make it everything outside of our interior, to just simpler to rotate everything. And yeah, if your box is selected, once again I can just use these edges to work with and the Swift loops to find the places where you can just add some extrusions. For example, I want to add two loops over here, and if you will select these two faces, you can use in the edit polygon tab, there is an extrusion button which you can use with your mouse like that. So basically that's it. And yeah, for example, what if I want to add this small wooden part over here? I will just use the edge selection like that. We'll add an edge with the connect button, and with the chamfer you can just make it, with the chamfer setting button over here you can just make it as a two edges. And now let's just use the bridge option again. So I just delete these two polygons over here, and once again I can just use the border selection, and I use a bridge to connect these two borders with each other. So right now you can see that this part of the chair is almost completed. Only one thing I can just figure out, that this part is much bigger than that part. I just need to move this part over here and this one over here. And if I will just use this part as a backside, it should have an angle like this. But if you can see that I can actually use these movements to adjust this angle over here, but it's not work really properly to make this angle smoothness like over here as an arc, and I will show you shortly how to make this angle. So first thing, I will just put this spine backside of that chair over here. Let's extrude it like this. Okay, so I have a spine for the chair, and now maybe let's add one more edge over here to make this smooth, more smoother. Yeah, so in the end you should have something like that. Okay, and the last thing, I want to maybe scale down a bit these two parts. And now I will show you how to create this smooth angle over here to the spine part. So in the modifier list there should be the FFD tool for transform your model differently. So if you will use this FFD free to free to free, you can see that you will find a free dots everywhere, which you can use it for different transformation of your actual model. So how this thing actually work? If it's highlighted with the blue color, that means that it doesn't work for you. To make it workable, you need to press over here. Now if it's just have this blue highlighted area, that means that it's in working option right now. So, and now if you want to just make some transformation, you just can use again this tool set for transform. For example, if you will select all of these verticals over here, you can just drag this transformation arrow, and the same thing over here. Maybe let's do the same for another legs. I really often using this tool because I like to make everything just a little bit exaggerated, and after you agree with everything you can just press here collapse, and yeah, that's it. Actually this part of this chair is finished. Now you just rotate it in a 90 degrees like this, and you make a copy of this like this, and let's put this pillow on top part. I will use a box like this. Anyhow, I feel like right now it's not proper size between these two parts. It should be much more close to the box over here. And yeah, let's just make this one bigger. So I guess that should be enough. And now, for example, if I want to make it really smooth as a pillow, in 3ds Max there is an option to make to add a lot of polygons into your object. So the tool for adding extra polygons based on your surface, call it TurboSmooth. If you will use your TurboSmooth, it will add polygons to your model. It's really useful tools for high polygonal modeling. You can just make something really smooth like this. Yeah, for example, you just add a lot of iterations to your modeling, and it works this way. So you can see we have different faces in our box. Each face have different polygroups, which could be selected from this part of the screen. If you will choose faces in selections, there is an option to select your polygroup smoothing, and by selecting different polygons you will find which polygroups are selected. So a TurboSmooth, using these polygroups as edges which could be used as a straight lines. For example, if we will use the smoothing groups as surfaces to generate the polygroups, it will not give smooth for the silhouette, but it will give a lot of polygons into the form. If we will not use the smoothing group option, it will smooth all the forms and the edges. So, and to make the form like that but make it smooth, we can use Swift loop. For example, if we will have more polygons over here and put the TurboSmooth on, you can see that this TurboSmooth right now works fine for me, much more better. And to make, for example, this angle smoother than it is right now, you can just move your edge loop to adjust it whatever you like. If you want to have this angle smoother, you just need to move these two loops far from each other. It will give you a more smoother effect. And if you will put this closer to each other, you can see that the angle right now is much more readable. So, and for example, I want to make the bottom part of the table with the angle. I will add a Swift loop over here, and now you can see that I have an angle over here much more harder than the angle on the top part. And that's it. Maybe 2 iterations is too much for this kind of object, because we are mainly focused on the low polygonal modeling. And yeah, when I'm happy with that, I just collapse it. You know, as a working model, we usually not collapse everything at all, but it could be problematic to export everything after you finish your work. That's why we need to collapse all the modifiers before we export those into the Unity. So what the next thing I want to create here, I will add this wooden part here and these 3 wooden parts over here. So let's put one box over here, and to the back side another one. and the same box could be used for a spine part like this. Maybe if I found that this part is much more wider than I expect, and you will just, for example, switch to the scale option, you can see that it will be scaled really not really clear, like it will be deformed in a perspective. So to scale it, normally you can just switch from the view to the local over here. Now you can see that your pivot point actually measure it the same way as your object are turned. Yeah, and now you can just scale it normally like this. So let's put it over here. Let's switch from the high quality to the standard. It's much more easy to understand what we are working on, and hide everything. Okay, let's see. So this is the left side of the chair. I will put this part over here and this part over here. I feel like this should be enough for the chair. It's right now it's really really detailed chair for this kind of project, I guess. Okay, let's maybe extrude these two parts just a little bit to make this part a little bit rounder than it is right now. So this should be enough. And that's it. So basically I'm happy with the chair. I will add these wooden parts to each other, but right now I will not add this pillow part for now to add a material to that. So I will use that wooden material for this part, and I don't know, maybe let's make this chair which color? Maybe white pillow. Yeah. So right now looks like our chair is almost finished. I just want to move this part just a little bit here, and that's it. The last thing what we can just check in the if you will select everything and press auto smooth, it will use an auto smooth for all of your edges. Now you can see that it was like this before. You can see here is the hard edges, and to fix that you can use the auto smooth. Auto smooth works for this amount of angle. For example, for 45 degrees angles should be smoothed automatically, and right now you can see that if we will have here less than 45 degrees it will be smoothed automatically, but the 90 degrees, for example, not smoothed and have a hard edge everywhere. So that's it. I still need to attach this one part of the table, and yeah, now I can attach also this part because I already add another material to it and can just put it in the scene like that. Let's remove this box over here, and let's put this one over here. Okay, we will use this wooden part and the black part for the top part of the table, or maybe white. I'm not sure, I like the black one. So that's okay. We have a chairs and table, and the next thing is that part of the room. I don't like to work on the kitchen right now, and I think it will be great to have a sofa also in this interior. So let's maybe make a simplest sofa over here. So yeah, let's find a proper reference for the sofa. Okay, I like this one. It's pretty simple and compact, and it will looks nice, I think, in our interior. So right now I can just drag and drop this image to my plane over here. So uh, the sofa should should be created with the boxes. You can see that it's produced from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, from 9 boxes. So basically let's just start from the biggest one and move to the smallest one. So basically I will prepare this first one, the bottom part. Looks like this is the main part of the sofa. I will not change the size of that box because we already measured it from the last lesson. And now I will just scale down the concept like this. Let's just fit it to the concept, yeah. Okay, so I'm happy with this part, and once again we can use a symmetry over here. So let's just export everything into polygons and put the symmetry modifier over here. Now when we have a symmetry, turn it on, we can just make for example a copy of that. Okay, so how it works. So right now you can see that if the symmetry actually is turned on, you move something, the symmetry will work the same way. So I want to add this box over here. So what I need to do, I will just go out from the modify and want to create a box over here like this. So the first thing is to create a box. Now if I will attach this box to that box, it will be reproduced over here too. And this is really good for us because now I will need to work only on one part and it will be compensated on another part. And also you already know this tool, call it Turbo Smooth. It's really useful to make a soft part. Now you can see how it works without the edges. And let's go back to the editable poly and add the swift loop edges over angles like this, and the same way over here. Let's turn on the Turbo Smooth, and yeah, that's it actually. So I'm happy with that form, but I'm not happy with this form over here. So I will add one edge loop here, and how to actually make this angle much rounder. I don't like, yeah, I forgot to add another one loop over here. Yeah, now I can see that everything works fine for me. Now I can just use this edge to adjust the angle of that soft part like this. Yeah, this one is tricky. You just need to figure out for you how to work with that Swift loops and the Turbo Smooth. If you will turn on this Turbo Smooth and just turn back into editable poly and use a Swift loop to add the polygons, you will see how it works. So basically that's it for this part and these two handles. And also I will use the same handle, I think, as a pillows over here. So I will just make a copy, clone as an element. Now let's put it here, add a size a little bit like this, and let's copy it. Oh, it's not possible to copy it like that. This is really strange. Why? But it's possible to copy it like this. This is really strange. It should be possible to copy it with the movement also, not only with the rotation. But it's okay. You can see that these two, both pillows right now are connected in one. So basically, just need to figure out the proper sizing for that pillow. And yeah, let's go back here and maybe move that verticals a little bit over here. And the same thing with this part, like that. So this should be enough for these pillows. I suggest to add more height to that, maybe, or maybe less height for that part, and maybe this part should be even smaller than the pillows, like this. And the handles, let's put these verticals higher. Oops, like this. And this pillow should be smaller to put a spine part of the sofa. This one. Okay, so another tricky thing what I'm not actually talking about if you use it, for example, the element selection, and you hold a control button. With the control button, if you will press on the vertex, you will reselect your element selection into the verticals. And now with the Alt button, you can deselect some verticals to move, for example, just a part of your whole body. Now let's just prepare the spine part of that sofa like this, and that's it. Actually, the sofa is done, and we can just choose a color and place it to the place where we actually want to have it. So that's it. Okay, let's just collapse everything again. So right now I can see that sofa is done, and we can put it over here. Or maybe I like it better to have close to that part of the room. So yeah, looks like the table itself, if you will just compare the table with the chairs, looks like the table itself, it's not so high enough. Maybe let's make it higher, and let's go to that part. Okay, if something not work properly, you will always need to switch from the editable mesh to editable poly. So now if you select the element and with the control button go back to the verticals, you can just select the verticals, and now you can just put your legs on the bottom part. Okay, so the software right now is ready. Now I will just add color to it. Maybe not this color. I want to have a gray sofa. I think the gray is perfect. And let's just see how it will looks like with the shadow. Yeah, I really like everything. So what we have for today, we have created a shelf, we have created a table, chair, and a sofa. I guess that maybe let's also move that shelf. Sometimes it's really useful to just hide something around your element to work with something. Hide all. And now we can actually group this element as a shelf. And let's put this group over here. Turn it in a 90 degrees. And remove this one. And let's put our shelf near the exit, I think, like this. Yeah, I feel like maybe it's enough for today, and for next session we will finish with these last parts and prepare all the assets for importing those into Unity. So yes, stand by, and I'm not sure that I will give some assignment. I will just upload a video on YouTube, and we will create assignment for the next part to export everything to the from the 3ds Max to the Unity. So basically, what you should have before you will import it to the Unity, you should have a room and some different props. I choose the table and chairs and the shelves. You can choose something else if you want, or even maybe if you stuck somewhere, you can just prepare only interior without furniture. Yeah, but for the next lessons with the Unity, for you should be enough to have a model with the doors and with the walls, and that's all. So basically, see you guys, and if you have more questions about something, just let me know in the messages, and yeah, I will maybe explain something like a bridge today for the next session. Bye bye.